Hello and welcome to the Pidgey Patrol. Episode 1 is going to consist of us meeting Professor Elm, getting the names out of the way, setting up the time, all that crap. We won't be catching any Pidgeys until part 2, but bear with me, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. Basically, in the beginning, all we're going to do is be introduced to Pokemon. Professor Oak is here, he's going to explain to us what this world is, tell us, some people play with Pokemon, some people train with Pokemon. Just getting you invested in this world. All this stuff's pretty standard. Anybody who's ever played a Pokemon game, you know that the first episode is going to be really boring. If you want to skip it, that's perfectly fine. I understand. But if not, like I said, I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Alright, so we're going to name ourselves Jesse, and we're going to move on here. The first thing we got to do is go downstairs and talk to Mom. She gives us our Pokegear. In these games, the Pokegear is like where your clock is, your phone is, your map is. It's your menu, basically. Without the Pokegear, you're kind of limited. So she gives us that, tells us how to use it, all that stuff. We're not. It's not a big deal. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, we're gonna go. She lets us know we gotta go talk to Professor Elm. He's got something he wants to talk to us about. So here we go. Professor Elm has this friend called Mr. Pokemon. They both research Pokemon and, work together to discover new things. Anyways, Mr. Pokemon has a new discovery that they want to look into, but they're too busy to go actually talk to him. So, for whatever reason, they can't go one town over. They're going to send a child to do it. But he's going to give us a Pokemon, and that's great. For this playthrough, I knew that we're going to be at a disadvantage because we're using Pidgeys. The starters that you get as they evolve have really impressive stats. Pidgeys not so much. So I tried to be a little strategic. I chose Totodile because I know that the rival gets the opposite, whatever's good against your Pokemon. So he gets the grass Pokemon. Well, flying moves are good against grass. So later on, when Pidgey learns some flying moves, we'll have an advantage whenever we gotta fight the rival. So hopefully that'll help. I don't know that it'll necessarily be too much of an advantage, but it's got to be better than not trying at all. So this part here, we just gotta, battle random encounters, deal with, all this stuff till we get to Mr. Pokemon's house. I'm not gonna focus on leveling Totodile too much, because we're just gonna get rid of him as soon as we get some Pidgeys. So we're just gonna zip through this pretty quick, and we're gonna skip through this first town just because I know that we've got to come back to it here in a few minutes, and we'll get the tour and go through the Pokemon Center and all that stuff in the next episode. For now, I just want to get this stuff out of the way. Alright, so here we are at Mr. Pokemon's house. He gives us a mystery egg that he got from the daycare center. This is the first game in the series to introduce breeding, and you can actually breed the Pokemon together and they'll give you an egg that'll eventually hatch. But you don't know that yet. This is your first time seeing the game, so this is their way of introducing you to that. Professor Oak is here. He's just visiting. This is just their way of letting you meet him too. He gives us the Pokedex so that we can collect, information on all the Pokemon for their research. We're not going to focus on that too much because all we're going to do is catch Pidgey. But in the normal playthroughs, you would try to catch them all. Yeah, that's what you do. So now that we got the Pokedex, we got the mystery egg, we're going to head back to Professor Elm's and give him all that and then go on from there. But of course, it can't be that simple. As you can see, we're getting a phone call from Professor Elm. He lets us know that there is a disaster. Someone has broken into the lab and they have stolen a Pokemon. And of course, it's going to be the rival. And when we get right through the town here, you can see we now have to fight the rival. Luckily, Totodile leveled up 2 levels while we were just on that short journey, so we're ahead of the rival, we're ahead of the Chikorita. The battle will be pretty quick. It's always pretty easy, the first fight, but they get harder as you go, especially if you don't level up. But as you can see, we had no trouble. Alright, so on we go. When we get to the lab, the police are there, they're investigating the crime, they want to know if we saw the criminal, and of course we did, so they ask if we got their name. This is where they let you name the rival whatever you want. You can get creative, name them all kinds of silly things, but I just chose Sinesha. He's quite the troll sometimes, and I can just imagine him breaking into a Pokemon lab and stealing things and going on a crime spree. So it just seemed fitting. So we're going to give the mystery egg to Professor Elm. He's excited. He's excited that we get a Pokedex. He's telling us to take the Pokemon Gym Challenge. Like I said, this is the intro. They're just letting you have all this information, letting you know what to do next. So now that we got that, we're going to head out. The assistant, as you can see, he's giving us some Pokeballs. We get 5 to start with. That won't be enough to catch 6 Pidgeys, but we can buy some here in the next couple towns. So, now that we've got our Pokeballs, all we gotta do is go talk to Mom, let her know that we're leaving, and then that's it. We can head out on our journey. So, if you guys have any questions, or you want me to do anything different, or challenge me in a different way in addition to only having Pidgeys, just let me know, leave a comment. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.